3.8, rewrite equations and formulas. Whoa, what is happening? So these are problems that will say something like solve ax plus b equals c for x. So you have to get x by itself. And then it'll say, then use the solution to solve whatever, basically. And some of them will be like for other variables. There might be two variables in it and you're picking one to solve for. So let's see. Where do I want to start? Let's look at, so it says to solve ax plus b is equal to c for x, and then it wants us to use the solution to solve 2x plus 5 is equal to 11. So it's a little bit weird, but if you look at this and this, okay, they are, the form, of them is the same. Okay, so when you go to plug stuff in, this is going to be A, this is going to be B, and C is going to be 11. Okay, so those are where they're going to get the numbers from. Okay, I don't know why they don't just tell you what they are, because that's what most books do, but, you know, whatever. So we have ax plus b is equal to c, and we want to solve it for x. So I need to move stuff over and divide, multiply, whatever the case is for these problems, to just be left with x on the one side. So I'm going to subtract b from both sides. So I'm left with ax is equal to c minus b. And then I'm going to divide both sides by a. So x is equal to c minus b divided by a. So that's the first part. So that's the step one, solving for x. Then we use this and these numbers here, and we plug them in. Okay, so part two is to plug them in. So we have x is equal to, c was 11, minus b was 5, divided by a was 2. So we're taking this and plugging in now. So 11 minus 5 is 6, so x is equal to 6 over 2, or x is equal to 3. So this is part two. So I'm going to actually look at some out of the homework now. We did that one just to get started. So number 4, we have, and it's the same instructions. It says solve the literal equation for x, which is the first equation that's given to you, and then use that to solve the specific equation, which is the one with the numbers in it. So why they write it so weird, I don't know, but oh well. So we have a times x plus b is equal to c. And then we have 2 times x plus 1 is equal to 9. So the first thing I would do is to always go ahead and say what A, B, and C are before you start doing anything. So they just match up perfectly. So A is 2, x plus B is 1 is equal to C, so C is 9. So then over here, if I want to get x by itself, I need to divide both sides by A. Okay, and I'm doing this because it'll make your life easier. Okay, this is why I'm going to do it this way. Divide both sides by A. So we have x plus B is equal to C divided by A. And then we subtract B, so x, minus B. So x is equal to C over A minus B. So doing it in that order just makes it easier. We don't need to distribute first because then that's going to end up making us divide by stuff and whatever that we just don't need to do. So now I can take these numbers and plug them in. So x is equal to, C was 9, divided by A was 2, minus B was 1. And then we just need to get a common denominator. So what would the common denominator be for this? Well, what's the denominator of this one? 2. So we're going to make this something over 2. So this will be 9 over 2 minus, so we still need it to equal 1. So if we had a 2, or if we put a 2 on the bottom, we have to multiply the top by 2. So it'll be minus 2 over 2, which then 9 minus 2 is 7. So 7 over 2, and you can just leave it like that. So again, this is part 1 of your answer, this is part 2. And your book will write this as a decimal of 3.5 in a lot of cases, but I'm okay with either, whichever way you want to do it. So. Let's see. Number 6. X divided by A is equal to B divided by C, and x divided by 8 is equal to 4.5 divided by 12. So help me label this side. So tell me what each of the numbers is. So what is 8? And 4.5? B. And 12? C. Okay. So now, on this side over here, if I want to get x by itself, any ideas on what I need to do? Yep, multiply by A on both sides. So x is equal to A times B divided by C. And you could leave it as B times A if you wanted to. That's completely fine. I don't know. I like my letters in alphabetical order. So then we're going to plug in the numbers. So x is equal to, A was 8 times B was 4.5 divided by C was 12. So 8 times 4.5, let's see. So that's 36 on top. And then 36 divided by 12 is 3. When I had the 4.5 in there, I thought it was going to be an awful number. All right, and we'll just do one more for today, and then because the next thing is adding in 2 variables instead. So, number 8, ax plus b equals cx minus d. And then we have 2x plus 9 is equal to 7x minus 1. So obviously this one has more than just the three, A, B, and C. It also has D. So we're going to include that one. So 2 is what? 9.
B.
7.
C.
And -1. And make sure you include that negative sign when you plug it in. Okay, don't forget it. If there's a sign with it, it's got to go with it. So I need to get x by itself, but right now I have 2 of them. So I need to combine them together first. So I like the variables on the left, so I'm going to move the cx to the left. So minus cx on both sides. So I have ax minus cx plus b is equal to -d. I need to move the b over to the other side. So I'm going to subtract b from both sides. So I have ax minus cx is equal to -b minus d. So now, I can't technically combine these because I don't really know what they are. I don't know what a and c actually are equal to number-wise. I mean, well, okay, I do, obviously, from up here, but I don't know in that problem. If I didn't know this information, I have no idea what they're equal to. But I want I want x by itself. So what I can do, since both of these have an x in them, I can take one out. So it's like reverse distributive property. Okay, so I can have x times a minus c, because if I multiply it back through, I get ax minus cx, which is what I had, so I'm good to go, equals -b minus d. Now, this is being multiplied, so I can divide by a minus c as a whole. So x is equal to -b minus d over a minus c. Apparently this problem really likes negatives. So now we can plug this stuff in. So -b, well, b was 9, so it's going to be -9 minus d was -1, so I'm going to have minus a -1 divided by a is 2 minus c is 7. So -9 minus a negative, so that becomes positive. So -9 plus 1 would be -8, divided by 2 minus 7 would be -5. And so that would just be 8 over 5, because the two negatives would cancel top and bottom. Wait a second. Do I have this problem copied right? 9x. Trying to make sure I have this problem copied right, because that's not the answer that they have. What is going on? 2x plus 9. Okay, I'm going to go back and check this really quick because it looks like something's wrong. Okay, they just literally have typo in the book. Okay, we're good.